Well, hello. Happy cold Thursday. June? Flaming June? Somebody is taking the mickey over here. It is freezing today. No way am I going anywhere. Oh dear. What has happened to the weather in the UK? I don't know. Anyway, on with what I came to show you. What have I been doing? Well, I bought a pattern from Etsy. It's by a lady called Hannah Martin and it's called the Lunar Mandala Vest. £7 for a pattern. That must be crazy. Still, I bought it. And I also bought one of these half mannequins that's very, very light, because I can't carry, the heavy mannequin I've got to the craft show. So this is what the front looks like. It's made with an unknown mandala cake that I maybe got from Molly's before they closed down, I can't remember. But that's the back view. Anyway, with the remains of the cone, plus some ornaments out of my stash, I made the other one. Oops, if you can see. Woo, why do I turn the camera the wrong way all the time? As you can see, it's mostly, oh God, do you know I am useless operator? I don't make a camera operator. I have no idea where the camera is pointing. Right, that's the back. Why can you not shut there? Yeah, that's the back. And if I turn her around and around and around she goes. Oh God. Do you know, Cecil B. DeMille, I am not. Right, that's the front view. The front views are very plain. I'm thinking of adapting them to make them not quite so plain. Because I think it's, people like to see a nice front as well as a nice retreat, if you know what I mean. It might look nice as you're retreating, but I think it might have a little bit more interest in the coming towards you bit. But still, that's just me. I mean, on the pattern she did use more, I think, smaller variegated yarn, whereas I'm using a big cake which shaded from, oh, sorry about moving the camera, but you've seen her now, she can move out of the way, can't she? Excuse me, Lady Jane, shift yourself. Right, I'm wearing a very old shawl. I don't know what the yarn is, please don't ask, it's just a granny square. I finished off the cardigan in the creamy colour. My friend said they always look huge when I hold them up in front of the camera, but what can I do? I'm not stripping the mannequin off again. I suppose I could strip the lightweight mannequin off, couldn't I? Seeing as she doesn't, sprain my armpits while I'm trying to do it. Yeah. Yeah, I signed up for another craft fair, just a local one, on July the 2nd, so if you're in Fleetwood, please come and give me a look. Not that many of you will be in Fleetwood on that day, but still, you never know, you're lucky in a raffle, do you? Right, I've put it on her, even though she's nice and slender and I am not. Right, that's the jacket. It's got one little button there, and it's got a nice fancy edging all the way around the bottom of it. Can you see it? There you go. See it better with the light, can't you? The pattern I use, because everybody always asks me, you may still be able to get it on eBay or on Etsy, because I've had the pattern quite a while. It's a Serdar pattern 5942, and that's the pattern that I used. Etsy's probably your best bet, because there you can buy printouts, can't you, or PDFs or whatever they call them. So that's probably your best bet to find it, yeah. The other pattern I forgot to mention, I did get that one off Etsy. As you can see, it looks more interesting in brighter colours. But I didn't have brighter colours in my shed, unless I'm trying to use up what I already have. Yeah. I made the pink cardigan. Again, it's going to look huge when I hold it up again, but sorry about that, people. It's a shorty cardigan for myself. I made it with 4 balls I had of the boho spirit. I did put what colour it was on my Instagram, but I've forgotten what colour. It was quartz, I think it was quartz. The other wool, by the way, was Pato. Pato double knitting, the one I used for the other cardigan. I bought that, I think it was Wool Warehouse. Excuse me having a sip. I have to warm my old cockles and my old heart. It looks like it's got beige buttons on it, but when you get close up, oh, if you can see. Oh gosh, why am I no good at camera work? The buttons actually look beige, but they've actually got flashes of pink in them, and I thought they looked quite nice. So that's why it's got beigey looking buttons on it. It's to go with a dress that I bought from Shine, are they called. So what am I doing now? Well, if you remember, I did show you I got 3 of these cakes as a bargain on eBay, and it's called Regenbogen Mirage Royale. So I decided, as I didn't have anything on the hook, that I was going to knit club. Excuse me. But I would start another of the virus shawls. There we go. So I've just got past that colour, and I'm going on to the purpley colour. I think it's a little bit dark actually, but then again, you know, you can't always crochet things that you like yourself, can you? You've got to take other people's choices into consideration. And other people said, oh yeah, it looks quite nice. It's just about gone into the second colour. As you can see, it goes from one colour to that colour, then it goes back to the sort of rusty colour, then back to the purpley again. I don't know how much of the ball I will use, because it would be rather a large shawl if I used it all, but still, we shall see what we shall see. Because keeping part of that cake really wouldn't be all that much use, would it really? It's actually very fine. It's more like a 4-ply or a fingering weight if you're in the US, yeah? But, you know, the virus shawl pattern, you can pick that up any place. There's 1,000,003 YouTube videos showing how to. So I'm sure you've all made one in the past. But it's kind of my go-to when I don't have to think. It used to be called what I used to call my hospital shawl, because every time I went to hospital I used to wait about 2.5, 3 hours for an appointment. I used to take the shawl with me, and I kept it in a special bag. When I'd finished that one shawl I would take another one with me. It was like my go-to, don't have to think about while I'm sitting in a hospital waiting room kind of thing. And also they didn't take up much room. I only had to take like a little tiny project bag with me and a hook. I actually got a present from my friend Kim. Hi Kim, if you're watching. She bought me this. It's a box by Slay the Mundane. Not quite sure where she got it from. Probably eBay or online someplace. Who knows? Maybe she will tell me. And it says knitting keeps me from unravelling. So it's a nice cup. I did have one similar before, but it broke. Don't know quite how I broke it, but I broke it. But the other one I had was green, so this is pink. This is next change. What else have I got? Oh, just some labels. Just labels and some twine, ready for pricing things from the craft fair. I bought myself a big bookcase, much to my son's dismay. because he is the one who will have to put it up for me because I can't put it up. But my knitting books are all behind me at the bottom, in the bottom cupboards. And I can't keep dragging out my chair just to have a look at the books. So I find that sadly I'm just not using them. So I thought, no, I'm not having this. I'm going to have a bookcase. Then I can use the display cabinets like to hold more of the sort of general mishmash I have floating around the room here. Make it look a bit tidier because the bottom cupboards will be, well, one side will be empty. The other side's got my sewing boxes in. But one side will be empty of books. So I'll be able to use it for storage to keep in here looking a little bit tidier. Because I am not the most tidy person in the world. I'm coming from a 3-bedroomed house where I had all of it for storage. All of it. Basically whittling down to 2 rooms and a shed. You know, it's like trying to squash about 3 pints in a teacup, really, you know. But I'm getting there, I'm getting there. I've got a lady from Knit Club, hopefully, finally going to help me get a web page. And then I'll be able to show you what I've got in the shed for sale, yeah? I won't be taking any orders, any custom orders, no. I just need to create space in my shed so that I can make it into a craft room. That's my aim. At the moment it's like fighting a losing battle trying to get in the thing, yeah. So, yeah, the craft show I'm going to, I probably won't sell much at all because it's not really, doesn't attract the kind of people who come in with the moolah, you know. But can but hope because, you know, people do see you and see what you're capable of doing and hopefully note you for the future. We'll see anyway, we will see what we can do. Look at me. Gloves on. I'm just so cold. I mean, my finger ends are going dead anyway. I don't know whether it's the diabetes or whether it's carpal tunnel. But when I went to the GP, honestly, he was a waste of space and time. He was writing the prescription kind of thing and opening the door to push you out at the same time. You know, I don't know what happened to these 10-minute appointments, but I don't think I was in there 3. You know, it was like, oh yeah, cool, okay, yeah, fine. When I started to ask him something, he said, oh, you've asked me 2 things already, you'll have to make another appointment. I thought, not with you, mate. Not with you. If you're an example of what the rest of the practice is like, I think I'll be moving. It's so demeaning. I don't want half an hour of his time, but it's demeaning when you know professionals are not listening to a word that you're saying. It's almost like, oh, you're old, you're dismissed. Go away. You know, we don't want to know. Go away. And sadly, I've felt that way since I've, you know, turned 70. You just feel like, you know, people look at you as if you're a burden. You know, like healthcare workers, it's like, oh, yeah. Well, you're older, what do you expect, you know? No, I expect to be treated, you know, with professionalism and courtesy. Is how I expect to be treated. Not to be kind of dismissed because you're elderly. Which sadly, I don't know whether it's the same in the US, but sadly it seems to be the case here. You know, I mean, admittedly it is a town full of elderly people, so they're probably pushed and the resources are probably stretched. But even so, a bit of common courtesy would be nice, yeah. Don't get me wrong, my diabetes nurses are fantastic. They are lovely people. They will talk to you and chat to you and treat you like you're human, yeah? But if that doctor was anything to go by, I wouldn't like to be his missus. I bet he never listens to a word she says. Yeah. Anyway, I've not got much else to say. I think I've decided not to go back to my knit club in the afternoons. I'm not feeling happy there. I'm not feeling inspired. You know, I like like-minded people. And like, while there are a few, well, 2 or 3 there that can craft, do craft, and can do things, quite a lot of the others, they just go and chit-chat, which is fine. Don't get me wrong, it's fine. But they have these tin pot ideas about, oh, let's do this to raise funds. And you're like, well, what can you actually do, you know? Oh, we'll all crochet squares and make a blanket. Yeah. That's great, but there's only like about 4 people who can actually crochet. So are you expecting those 4 people to actually make all of the squares? Been there, worn the t-shirt, been put upon before, been the only person in the club doing anything, done that before, not doing it again. Sorry if it sounds mean. I've decided if I want to do anything for charity, I'll do it. And I'll donate it, and I'll just take full credit for it or whatever. Not that I want credit, don't get me wrong. But I am sick of making things for other people to take credit for. So, yeah, if it sounds like being mean, then maybe I'm being mean. I'm too old to care. Too old to care. I think, after 76 years, if you can't be a bit selfish, when can you be selfish? I've spent all of my life, really, in servitude to other people, doing other people's will, doing what other people expect of me. Not kicking the norm, if you know what I mean, not saying exactly what I feel. And I think I've earned the right now to just come out with it and say, right, no, I'm not doing it. End of story. Doing what I want to do. End of story. Time to be selfish. How much longer have I got on this earth? I want to spend at least 5 years of it being selfish. I mean, it's not in my nature to be selfish. I'm having to learn it, yeah? But I'm sick of being downtrodden and put on, Oh, Janet will do that. Oh, yeah, Janet will make it. Janet will do it, yeah. Yeah, we're thinking of having a stall with selling stuff for charity. Looking at me. This girl has butted out. Yes, I'm going to be a selfish, mean old bee in my old age. I have made a decision. Not to fret the small stuff, is it what they say? Yeah. Do what I want. Wear what I want. Go where I want. And not be beholden to everybody else's wishes. I don't know what you all think. Maybe you think I'm being a bit stroppy, I don't know. Maybe I'm having a strop. Maybe I'm having a stroppy day. I wasn't well with my IBS yesterday, so I'm not feeling at my best. The IBS that won't go away. It doesn't respond to what I'm eating. I can eat different things and it still kicks in. Doesn't respond to medication. It just happens and I have a miserable day and an evening of it. And then it started again this morning. So, hey, oh, if I want to be a right biatch, I will be. Because that's the way I feel today. And I don't think I've got anything else to tell you. Nothing much. I'm still going to be going to my knit club in the evening because they're a great bunch of ladies and they're very productive and they do know how to craft. Different crafting to me, but that doesn't matter. So I'm on the lookout for a different group. I don't mind if it's just a natter group, one that doesn't actually do anything but just meets up for a chit-chat. But they're open about it, saying, yes, it's just chit-chat. I don't like being under pressure. I went to another knit group, as you know, locally on Thursday morning, and that was just pressure, because all they ever did was for charity. And it was like, you will do this, you will do that, you will do the other. No. If I choose to do something for charity, I will do it. I am not being pressurised into everything I make being made for charity. So that didn't go down well. The woman who ruled it, I think she must have been a school mistress or maybe a head teacher in her former life. because boy did she like to wag that finger. Yeah, you will do this, you will do that. We expect you to make this, we expect you to make that, if you want to be a part of this club. Janet was out the door. Yes, so I'm still on the lookout for something, some group. There's plenty of coffee morning groups I could join, which at least are honest, that they don't expect you to do anything except sit there and have a cup of coffee. My kind of people. I can take my crocheting if I want, but I'm not being put under any kind of pressure, which I felt. It was making me ill. I was starting to not look forward to Wednesdays, and I thought, this is bad, when you can't look forward to going out and having a good time. You know, still, that's all I've got to say to you today, so I think that's the end of my video. Moany, moany me. Moany, groany me. Unlike me to be like this, but I just feel that way today. So sorry if you were expecting a happy video and you didn't get one. But I believe in being totally honest. If I'm feeling like SH1T, I will tell you. I am feeling like SH1T. What am I going to do for the rest of the day? Crochet a bit more on that shawl that I'm not really all that keen on. Or maybe I might get adventurous and take a trip to the shed to find something else that maybe I will make another of these waistcoats with. You know, my friend did say I should have made them in red, white and blue for the, oh there it is, red, white and blue for the Jubilee, but that would have been very short-lived. And would people have bought them when you don't have a web page to sell them on? I doubt it. No, there it is anyway. I do like the back, I'm just a little disappointed with the fronts. I might have to do something different for the fronts. To me they look a bit boring. But I don't know. Let me know how you feel about the fronts, whether you think the fronts are pretty boring. Or do you like making a statement as you go away from people? I always remember when I got married, many moons ago, I looked for a dress that actually had some back detail on it. I didn't get really anything fancy, but it did have some back detail. Because I thought half of the people in the church are not looking at the front of your frock, are they? They're looking at the back of you. You know, so if you've got like a boring frock, you know, they're staring at a boring frock, aren't they, at the back, you know. My dad used to always say when people were walking by, they look like good soldiers, and I used to say, what do you mean? And he said, a good soldier never looks behind. He said, obviously, when you look at the state of her from the rear, he said, she doesn't have a full-length mirror that she can see the back view. You know, people who do fantastic hairdos at the front, and when they'd turn round, it would look like a bird's nest, you know. That's when my dad used to say, there goes another good soldier. He was full of good sayings, yeah. My niece actually came out the weekend and she reminded me that he always used to say emergency instead of emergency. And he also used to say coinky dinky instead of a coincidence. He had a lot of sayings, did my dad, and if he was eating something that he didn't particularly like a sweet or something like that, he would keep on eating them and he kept saying, oh, I'll be glad when I've had enough of these, I don't like them. And I used to say, well, why do you keep eating them then? He'd pop another sweet in his mouth and he'd, oh, I don't know why. Yeah. He was full of good sayings, was my dad. A lot of them have stood the test of time and have been passed down the generations. My niece says she finds herself saying things that my dad used to say. Whereas I find myself turning into my mother. You know, when you get out the shower sometimes and you look at yourself in the mirror and think, oh my God, there's my mother. You know? Whereas I grew up all my life thinking I look like me dad. And now I look at myself sometimes and say, flipping heck, Lucy, that's my mum. It's Lucy staring back at me. She was miserable. As she got old, she was in a tremendous amount of pain. And I must admit, when I'm in a lot of pain, I do turn into my mother. Except I don't do the groany and the moany bit, yeah. My mother used to do the soundtrack versions, you know, when she got up out of the chair, oh, oh, oh. And I said, Mum, can't you just get out of the chair quietly? Whereas I find myself going, oh, oh, because I won't shout out loud anymore. I don't want to turn into my mum. Man, if I'm on my own, oh, so one next door can't hear me if I'm on my own. Because those weak little pity-patty pills the GP gave me don't even touch the sides of my pain. So much. That reminds me, I'm going to ring my old GP and find out whether or not they transferred all my details across. Because he said to me, oh, I can't read any of your details. I don't know about your back operation. I don't know anything. Can't read your details. So I'm going to find out whether or not, I mean, in the old days they used to send the paper stuff across, but of course we're all electronic. So I just presumed that electronically all my stuff would have followed me. But I need to query that with my old GP. In fact, I might do that before they close. So I shall bid you farewell for now. Sorry it's a moany video, but I'm sure I shall be happier soon. Bye for now.